Hi, everybody, and welcome to this video tutorial on how to process skin conductance data. Hopefully, I'm sharing my screen and you can see this Word document that we'll just go through step by step. And hopefully this audio is working, so I only have to do this one time. We'll go through it step by step in more or less real time so we can get a sense for how long it takes. All right, so in any case, when you first decide to process a skin conductance data for skin conductance, you need to figure out which visit to do. So to do that, we need to figure out which one was the last visit done. So we'll navigate to this file path by either right-clicking on the link or clicking through those folders to get there, or you can just open the hyperlink by right-clicking on there. I think I'm only sharing one screen, so I'll do my best to bring things over here, but that opens up this folder path here where we can see which was the last data that was processed. So as you can see on here, we need to open up the Excel spreadsheet, the main Excel spreadsheet, ARCS EDA analysis. So we'll do that and see that the last sample process was 466 T1, so baseline, and these were the numbers for that visit. All right, so 466 is the last one, so we'll go for one after that to be the one that we'll work on in this video. All right, close out of this and move on to the next step. All right, so yeah, make sure you have the product key plugged in. Let's see, yeah, they come in this little DVD box, and they look like this. This is the product key for HRV, the HRV software. I don't know if you can see that it's marked off there for HRV. There's one for EDA, electrodermal activity, and that's plugged in now. I won't unplug that, but it looks like the same thing. And it's in here. And if this little DVD box isn't like on the counter, it'll be in this cabinet in the box that says Mindware Supplies in the middle there. Okay. So that's plugged in, and now we can click on this little icon to open it up. The Mindware software for analyzing skin conductance. So I've double-clicked this, and it's opening up. It's going to take its sweet time. And this is good because we want to do this in real time. So you can fast forward through this part. Okay. All right. So the software is open, and we need to figure out which we're going to do. We did 466. That was already done. So we need to go one after that. So we'll navigate back. Oh, too far back. But yeah, so here's where our data files are. They're in this file path here. And this is also listed in the SOP here, where the files are located. So we'll go to this and we'll scroll down to find 466. That was the last one. So the next one after that is 468. We'll work on that. So we open up that PDF file, and that pulls in all the data. And now we need to map the channels. So the ones that matter for us are EDA. So I'm clicking up on this up button here until I get to GSR1. That's the skin conductance channel. And you can click up on this until it says respiration. I don't know if this is 100% necessary, but I do like to do it just to be consistent with the ones that are already there. Yeah, as far as, I don't think it's used for the calculation of the skin conductance response, but this way it's just the data is there in case we need it at some point. Alrighty, so now the data file is loaded, but we need to load an event file. More likely than not, the event file will be already made and converted into the Mindware format. The format that we generate the raw file from is too complicated for Mindware. It only needs a couple different pieces of information, so it needs to be simplified. But that is usually done. I'll make a separate video on how to process files, event files for MindWare. All right, so I've clicked add to add in an event file, and now we gotta click the up button until it says MindWare event file. This is the file format that we want for event files. Okay, and which file do we want? Let's find it. And where are we gonna go? I forget. So we'll check it out. Oh, it looks like it's here. So arcs, skin conductance, event files, and conversion. Okay. Skin conductance, event files, and conversion. So probably going to want a processed conductance file for the baseline visit of 468. 468, where is it? 468. All right, it's processed. We're all set. Okay, these boxes don't matter. Just make sure there's 0 in relative time. And our event file is in. All right, the next thing that we need to do is to make sure all of these settings look like the settings in the SOP. And here's how we do that. So step 4, make sure that the calibration settings are right. Events and modes tabs. The only thing we need to do is change this. So it's like that. And make sure this is -30, -30, +60, +60. I don't think that matters for the calculation, but it just to keep it consistent. And then this is all over here. Don't worry about multiple segments. Then we'll move on to the middle tab. Make sure all these numbers are, these numbers matter. This matters for the calculation of the skin conductance response. It tells us how big of a jump matters for a skin conductance response, the conversion rate for our equipment, and how long after a stimulus we're looking to see for where a response is. Resp can be resp. We need this to be entire, and then 500 is our block size. We can go into additional settings and make sure the output file is getting saved to the right spot. This is the right spot. If it says anything different, you can click the folder and navigate to a different place, but this is where we want it to be. All right, that's all the settings. We can go ahead and click the red button. And here is our output. There is a description in the SOP as to what all of these panes and panels mean, about the different all these different things. But we originally were going to go through the entire recording and filter out anything that might have been noise. Like this could be noise, but it could be normal. But we eventually decided that the amount of noise isn't going to vary too much from person to person, and we're just going to take it as it is. Yeah, so now that's done, and we can write all the segments. There is one thing, actually. There is one thing that we should probably get rid of on this here. And this is saying that there is a little bit of a skin conductance response within the realm of the start. So you see how this says acquisition start there? It's calling that as an event, which is not. The events for this for the visits are like showing pictures of faces, animals, and this isn't meaning anything. So we should probably delete this. And here's a quick just how to delete that out. This is the one thing that you'll need to do for processing SCR data. So we'll go into edit peaks and troughs, and then click the delete button here, and then delete this pair of dots. Just that's all. And now we're done. That's it. So now that skin conductance response that it detected is out of the picture. It's not saying that there was a response to the start. Okay, so that's good. That's out of there. and we can write this data to an Excel file. So we go to File, Write All Segments. Don't click the Write button because it'll just do like these first 10 seconds or whatever. You can click OK. And it'll go through all the segments, all 20 minutes of data that were collected, whatever, and write it to an Excel file. Feel free to fast forward through this part. Alrighty, so now it says write all complete. We have an output file. All right, this is done for now. Yeah, here's a little description of how to edit data, but we're not doing this unless there is a data point that corresponds to the start. And that's written here. Another situation where you want to do that is if it pertains to the start event. So we remove those points, and then we wrote the data file, write all segments. And now we need to calculate the SCR for each condition. The way we're doing that is with a MATLAB script. So that is located at this location, which happens to be pulled up already. So we'll double click on the MATLAB script to open it up. And then the software will start. If you've never used MATLAB before, don't worry. This is quick. This is quick. And hopefully straightforward. All right, so I've pulled in the MATLAB, and there's a lot of buttons and windows and panes, and all you need to do is at the bottom center, you can type in or paste this, SCR calc, copy, paste. Oop, I pasted it twice. Delete some extra letters, and then hit enter. All right, which file do you want to use? Hopefully the one that we just analyzed is in this same folder. If it's not, it was saved to the wrong place, and just find out where it is and move it to this folder. And this is the same folder where the script is located, and where hopefully outputs from Mindware are being saved. Yeah, so double click that, and it'll use that file. And it's going to ask you if it was baseline or follow-up. So if it's follow-up, press 2, enter. But if it's baseline, you can just press enter. This is a baseline visit, and now it's done. It calculated it. And you'll see over here in the folder, there are a new text file. And the main output file has been updated, hopefully. So we will double check that it has been updated right. So ARCS EDA analysis, this is our main output file that we checked in the beginning. And now it has a new row in there, 468. So a good thing to do is just make sure all of the columns have something that makes sense in them. So this is the ID, that's right. This is T1 for a baseline visit, that's right. Here's the mean skin conductance with a standard deviation. This is the amount of times that, like, they saw an animal and they had a skin conductance response. It was 18. And all these numbers are pretty much logical too. The one time that it might not work, you see these zeros up here. This one, no skin conductances were detected for this participant. And pretty much what you have to do in that situation is you'll notice like that you run it and you might get an error message or there's no text file generated. And that pretty much just means like there was nothing they didn't have any skin conductance responses for whatever reason. And in that case, you put in the ID, you put in baseline or follow-up, and then zeros for everything else. And make sure it's saved. It should be saved, but if you did have to change anything, just good practice, save, close, close out of MATLAB. And then to make sure this folder doesn't get too cluttery, what we'll do is select those two for the file that we're working on, and then cut them out, Control X or right click cut, and paste them into the folder with all of their other data. So this was 468, and then Control V or right click paste. You can see these are over here. So now all the 468 files are in the 468 folder. Okay, that concludes this tutorial on how to process skin conductance data. If you have any questions, feel free to send me an email or a message on Basecamp. Yeah, make sure to save the Excel thing. I think I've covered everything. Is that everything? That's everything. What is this, 18 minutes, 12 minutes? Okay, I'm gonna stop this video before it gets to be too long. Thanks, bye.